One more for the road and make mine a double. I'm Leslie Miller and welcome to a special supersized season finale edition of More All My Children, where we take you behind the scenes and inside the lives of Pine Valley and its biggest stars. More on the AMC finale in a moment. But can we talk about you for a second?
I love Colby Chandler, but she is so mean.
That's right, More fans. You've been like a good first date all season.
I think Miranda has a lot of insecurities that she needs to work on before she can actually have a boyfriend.
You listened to our stories, laughed at our jokes, called the next day to say you had a nice time, and I thought, it's time we did something special for those guys. Then I watched the season finale and thought, geez, I could really use a drink after that. So today we're killing two birds with one stone. I'm going to get my drink on, and you're invited to a party in your honor. A season-ending soiree with great wine, great conversation, and some great ladies of Pine Valley.
I need my shoes.
The invitations went out to Lindsay Hartley, Eden Regal, and Jill Larson. In case you're new to Pine Valley, here's the 411 on my guests. Lindsay Hartley plays gorgeous Dr. Cara Castillo. She joined the cast of All My Children in 2010. She got her start in commercials, is the youngest singer ever to headline Vegas. Oh, and she's a mom, too. Eden Regal joined AMC in 2000 as Erica Kane's daughter Bianca and broke down barriers when she became the first openly gay main character in soap history. She won an Emmy for her role in 2005. No wine for her, she's pregnant with her second child. Before AMC, her big break was in the outrageous comedy American Pie. Jill Larson has delighted fans as Opal Cortland for nearly 25 years. She has a daughter, Annie, she adopted from China. Jill made her Broadway debut in 1987 and still is very involved in the theater. So the cars are in the driveway, the guests are coming up the stairs, and I'm ready to get this party started.
There's no shortage of wine in this house.
So be my guest. Sit back, grab your legal drink of choice, and enjoy.
Oh my God.
I would just like you to take notice of all the hard work that I did today putting this together. No, really.
Did you do that? Oh my God. I was going to be so impressed for a second.
Or horrified, one or the other. Make you feel so
yes.
inadequate by
I've never made a meatball in my life.
This is incredible.
I just want to ask the sound man how carrots sound on them.
That's a really
I think
good
if you
question.
have a few glasses of wine, then you won't care.
So Eden may be eating for two, but we're drinking for
Yes,
4.
you're drinking for
right?
1 1/3 person.
There you go.
Actually, 1 1/2 of a person. I don't know how the math works on that.
So you're 5 months now?
Yes.
That's exciting. And your second child?
Exciting. Yes, it's my second. I already have a son. He's 2. We just had our 20-week appointment though, and I mean, even since I did it last time, the technology's like advanced so much. Their ultrasound machines are like we got this amazing picture of the baby's face and torso, and like it's a, you know, like it was really great for bonding, and it got me very excited. Wow. If you can tell, I'm very excited.
You are excited.
And you really
It's
are glowing.
amazing.
I know that sounds really
I was
cliche, but
I was
it's
like, I've never seen her like this before. Like usually she comes in very chill and relaxed, and she was like in here running around.
I don't know if it's like there's some
love
kind
it.
of like drug, like natural drug coursing through my veins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Knocking out
It's would be natural, not supplemented. Unless somebody's slipping me something, but I don't. But I hope they don't stop.
when you were pregnant with your first son,
Yes.
were you shooting on All My Children at that time?
I was actually on Young and the Restless at the time, and I carried giant purses, and I stood behind tall couches, and they would have to actually like put the couches on apple boxes and make them abnormally tall to cover. There was
write it in at all?
literally a scene, no, where I was like constantly standing in front of a flower arrangement.
Oh my gosh.
And nobody seemed to notice that the flower arrangement kept moving around the room. It was extremely ridiculous.
Do you remember the first time you all met each other?
Oh God, no! I have no idea.
I don't think it goes back too far.
It was forever ago.
Yeah.
And you've been on the show for so long that I'm sure.
That's
I'm sure
right.
that she doesn't pay attention to the kids on the show until they've been on for at least 2 years, because you just don't know who's gonna stick
How long
around.
will it be there? That's right.
Unless they look like Rob Wilson, it's kind of hard not to pay attention.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Oh my God. The first time I do remember that because it was very recent. And because, you know, they were the very first scenes to be shot for the new series. And I just met him and, oh, hi, how are you? And now let's play the scene. And the third scene, he was there just with a towel on and nothing else. And I walked onto the set and I thought, well, I don't know that I've ever been this close to someone who looks like that and doesn't have their shirt on. You know, I mean, I just don't know. And obviously the director that day.
These things are not appropriate.
I know, and who was it? Connell was directing, and Connell over the loudspeaker in front of everyone yells, "Jill, would you please stop looking at your son like he's something on the menu?" You know. But
Nobody warned you.
no. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Katie had said, just like an hour before I met him, "Have you seen your son?" I said, "I haven't met him yet. He's beautiful. He's gorgeous. He's porn star gorgeous."
Wow.
Oh my
But
God.
the best thing
I wonder if
about
he
it
knows he's
is
been
that-
called porn star gorgeous before.
Yeah, now he does.
It
No,
depends
it
what echelon of porn,
Right.
though,
That's
right? I mean, like,
That's right.
don't
No,
you think? Isn't there, like,
Don't ask me that question. I
Well,
do not.
she
I
was
can't
just
answer that
making
question.
a joke and teasing me, but
I tell you, I want to hang out in your dressing room a lot more. I didn't know you guys had such fun conversations.
Do you remember your first on-screen kiss?
Mine was like I did a movie called American Pie. And in it I played a young, impressionable girl that Stifler is trying to bed. And he kisses me in a really disgusting way. Like, you know, he just like tongues and it's like an invasion.
Slobbers all over your
remember
face.
that.
To be fun. Yeah,
Yeah, and then, but then he determines that he just drank a beer that had another bodily fluid in it, and then he throws up. I mean, it's American Pie. What is?
Right.
But yes, I do remember that.
I remember that scene. I didn't realize that was you.
I gotta go rent the movie.
I know. I was,
Oh my God. It must have meant that the next experience was much more pleasant.
Well, the next experience, I believe, was when Bianca had her first on-screen kiss with another woman.
Oh my goodness.
Which was with Lena, and it was equally stressful, actually, if not more so, because Entertainment Tonight and Extra and Access Hollywood and God knows who else were all on set. It was a media circus that day, and we had never done it before, and I had never kissed a girl, and I was very stressed out because I wanted it to look natural. And that's like the worst thing to do to yourself is like, this has to look beautiful and natural and real and true and honest, and all these people I've never met are here, and there's lights and cameras. And we did it, and I leave her at the airport, and then I turn around and I say, you know, screw this, and I like go up to her and I plant one on her, and like, you know, it's very dramatic, and I think I ultimately I looked rather stiff.
Well, however, if it was your first time, if it was
Yes.
Bianca's and it was in public, I mean,
Which is how I rationalized it to myself. And then in further subsequent kisses, as we got much more comfortable with each other.
And you didn't have the media
And we
circus
didn't
around.
then it was very nice. And then I realized how lovely her lips were, and then it got to be quite enjoyable, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't get nervous with any of my kissing scenes.
No?
No, ever.
Slut.
I am a slut. Is that wrong? You know when I get nervous is the stuff when you're going to the make love stuff. You know, that's when I freak out.
Yeah.
The kissing doesn't bother me. I feel like, okay, boom, it's over. What angle, what you want, who's downstage, who's, you know, whatever.
But that must be because you feel more comfortable with it now. I don't know. You weren't the first time? I thought, I thought,
smell like a
is
kiss.
my mouth gonna look weird? I don't know, I've never seen myself kiss before.
I don't know.
So what was it like when you did see yourself kiss?
It was horrifying.
I just don't want.
So awkward because you look at yourself in a different way than most people do, I hope.
I don't ever watch those scenes.
Yeah.
It's because
No,
Did you watch your love scene with Dr. David?
I didn't until I heard about it. At the premiere. That's how I watched it. And actually, I covered my eyes like a little child.
Why?
Because it's embarrassing. Yeah.
You look fantastic in that scene.
When I was done, that was the one I was nervous. Well, I'm always nervous about those ones. Like I said, kissing doesn't bother me because it's just a tight shot. Nothing's going on. You're just okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. You know, it's like very mechanical in my head. That's what I think. The other stuff is nerve-wracking.
Whatever you are acting emotionally, you are pretending, but your body and your emotions don't know that you're pretending, you know?
Example, Brad and Angelina, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right?
Yeah.
Well, who wouldn't?
Brad or Angelina.
Seriously?
That's right.
Whichever one.
Yeah.
Either one.
It's true. But it is a question that I have because it feels like there is so much more graphic sexuality being expressed in film and television now. Are you okay?
It's just a lot of sex talk.
Want to hear more? Don't worry, the party is just getting started. Coming up, on-set crushes.
And then I'd see him and I'd think I'd be like, say all these clever things, and then I'd just be like,
And oh yes, a surprise guest.
I mean, oh, as a guest.
Oh my God!
Welcome back to a special edition of More All My Children. You are the guest of honor as we toast a fantastic season 1 of All My Children. As the host of More, I'm used to interviewing the AMC cast on the set of All My Children. But when I invited Lindsay Hartley, Eden Regal, and Jill Larson to come over for a little season-ending soiree, it turned into a night to remember. So let's talk most embarrassing moment.
I don't know if it's the most embarrassing, but I remember I was in a scene where I had to be eating a bagel. I'm not great with eating and being on camera at the same time, and I had made a bet with myself because so often on soaps, they bring a beautiful plate of food and then nobody eats a bite. And
Except Julia Barr.
is that right? I didn't know that about her.
I love her for that. That was something she and I always shared.
So I didn't know. I was going to be the girl that ate anything that they put in front of me.
Yeah.
No matter what. So I kept taking bites of bagel, and then the next thing I knew, I had so much bagel in my mouth, and I could not talk, and it was like, so anyway, and then you can't do that, and it was so embarrassing.
I don't need it. I don't need it on camera. I know. I get food stuck in my teeth.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of bad stuff that can happen.
Like Rob ate all those brownies. I was like, Rob is eating chocolate fudge
Well, not
brownies,
only that, but
and
the
he's
first one. It was his first day. I bring in this whole platter of brownies and I give it to him. He picks one up and they're decent sized brownies. He put his tongue out and he set the brownie on his tongue and then retracted it like that.
whole thing?
And I got to watch him suddenly realize, I have a waffle brownie and I can't talk, you know? And it was just...
It's a terrible realization.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it was
Especially when
adorable.
you're supposed to have those romantic strawberry whipped cream scenes with like, and you
Right.
bite eating a strawberry like red. I mean, what the, I can't. Come kiss me.
That's right.
What was your worst job, whether it was in acting or anything?
Well, I have a few I could choose from.
There you go. Yes.
One of my more embarrassing acting jobs was I was hired to be a dancing pantyhose box. When I got to the job, they had, this Broadway choreographer there who gave me this real tap routine. I come on set and I'm wearing the pantyhose, and they lower this box over me that is probably 4 or 5 feet high, and it's made of plywood.
What?
And it's newly made of plywood, so there is sawdust falling on my face. And I'm wearing this thing, and I'm holding it like this inside the box, and they start the music, and I start the tap dance.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
And then they
It's like
say,
a nightmare.
they stop and they say, the client is there, and the client says, her thighs are jiggling. And the director says, well, she's tap dancing. She can't have her thighs jiggling, no.
Did you wear pantyhose while you did this?
Yeah, I was wearing the pantyhose.
They should have made a better pair of pantyhose.
I know. But,
Do you remember your first job?
I got to play Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz when I was 14 at this theater in Palm Desert. I had 3 Totos.
Oh.
And so right there, I was like in love. And then I got to fly, like for the tornado. They had me in a harness.
This was a real production.
Yeah,
This is a big production.
Big deal.
They used the MGM grand sets. Oh, look, someone's coming over.
Are you crashing the party, husband?
are you coming to the girls' party?
Did you say hello to the ladies?
Come join us.
Yes, I wish you guys were more boring so that I would eat more.
I've been hearing some great stories about their first on-screen kisses and first jobs.
Have you talked about your first on-screen kiss?
No.
I have not had an on-screen kiss, but if you come over here and plant one, that will be my first. My first on-screen kiss.
Here we go. Okay, goodbye.
That was easy. What are you talking about? I know.
I believed it.
You had a job where you were interning at the White House when President
Yes,
Clinton.
in the Clinton White House.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of jokes, but it was post-Lewinsky,
Post-Lewinsky.
and therefore you could not get within 100 feet of the man if you were a female.
What was your career goal at that time? Did you want to
Well,
do something
I
with...
mean, like these guys, I had started acting when I was really, really young. I was 7 when I was cast in Les Miserables on tour. And I was in it for 2 more years on Broadway. But I, had started at such a young age that I was like, I can't just keep going and be an actress forever. This was fun, but I have to get a real job. I have to be, a grown-up.
Yeah.
And so I went to college, and I was gonna try to be a lawyer.
And would you remind me what college you went to?
I went to Harvard.
You may have heard of it, too.
Yes, I have actually.
But then I had to leave, actually, because that's when I got cast in All My Children.
You
Weirdly enough.
mean you were being an intern when you got cast?
I got a call in my office in the White House.
that's
I don't know that there are many people who can say, I got a call in the White House.
So you had auditioned, so you knew.
I had auditioned for Bianca when I was 11 years old. And Judy Bly Wilson remembered me all those years later because I guess she really liked my audition. The next thing I knew, I flew up. I got a day off of the White House to do my test. And I worked with Susan, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then I worked with Josh Duhamel.
Yeah.
After I tested with Josh, I was like, I don't know what this show's all about, but if he's on it, I'm gonna get on it too. And it was like, Bill Clinton or Josh Duhamel.
Well, I have to admit, with the current version of All My Children, there are some hot actors on that show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just between us girls, who's the hottest?
Oh my God. Oh, that's a terrible question.
That is a terrible question.
Torsten K is pretty hot.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. He absolutely is.
I think that man
so
just
funny to me.
oozes. He's funny, but he
I
oozes
can't-
sex appeal.
I just see like funny man when I see him.
But I think his sense of humor makes him even
Appealing.
more
Oh,
attractive.
Definitely.
I completely
because
agree.
He's so disarming with that.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah.
Let me see. There's.
Well, I know you want to jump your son, which is.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't go that far. Truly, I wouldn't.
Do you remember your first crush in real life, not on TV life?
I always had a thing for Johnny Depp.
I had a lot of crushes, but really Josh Duhamel took it to a whole new level. It was hard for me to work with him,
Yeah.
quite frankly.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak around him. He would talk and
I've
be.
never had that.
No, it's
I've
horrible.
never
I
had
had
I mean,
that
it was
with
so
Bobby
exciting.
Woods.
Like I would get butterflies in my stomach the night before I knew we had
butterflies
a scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
and I couldn't wait to get to work and then I'd see him and I'd think I'd be like say all these clever things and then I'd just be like, you're so cute. But it was fun. But yeah, like I had a major
Yeah.
crush on him.
I can see you're over it now, though.
Oh yeah, I'm totally over it.
Next on More.
No.
It's not a party until someone crashes it. Find out who got these ladies all hot and bothered. Plus, more tales from Pine Valley and beyond. Welcome back to a special edition of More All My Children. Our salute to a great season 1 and of things to come. We saw some new faces in Pine Valley this year, and few were more welcome than Rob Wilson, who plays Pete Cortland.
Are you in?
Not only is he a good guy and a great actor, but let's face it, he's gorgeous.
Wow, Pete! Talk about being cut.
So the ladies had no problem when he crashed our private rap party.
I mean, you have a guest.
Speaking of six-pack,
Oh my God! Oh,
Ladies' night? Come on, I brought my own wine.
this was a little bit planned.
okay, well,
Yeah,
I'll admit it. So, Rob, we've been having a great girls' chat and talking about your abs.
That's right. How beautiful
You
you
eating
are.
brownies.
You really have
How
been a major
sweet you
topic
are.
of conversation.
Oh man.
Do you feel that you have to work a little bit harder to prove yourself as an actor because you don't want to just be looked at as the good-looking guy on screen?
Sounds more like a deal with the devil.
It's a blessing and a curse, for sure. Whether you're a beautiful woman or a decent-looking guy, you kind of get held at a different standard. And it can be a little overwhelming, but when it happens, and you get that opportunity to finally, put on a shirt that fits, and you can actually show what you can do, it's truly a blessing.
I think you found a shirt that fits quite.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Yeah.
Ian's like, but it's okay if you want to take it off.
I guess I just got over the whole geek stereotype. Started working out.
You're a really nice guy, and in
Oh,
case
thank you.
anybody doesn't know that, I mean,
We love Rob.
We've
Oh,
all
man,
talked
thank
about
you.
that.
That's
You're
right.
I
just-
try
you're
to
really
behave
nice.
myself as much as I can, but yeah.
Well, tell us about when you don't.
You're too naughty.
I want you to teach me about computers.
Okay, well, computers are pretty much made up of about a billion electric switches.
Was that your first love scene?
Yeah, as an actor, I mean, even in like classes, I mean, it's never been like that.
Don't stop. You stop, I stop.
It was the end of the day, I'll never forget. You talk about it as awkward as you can make a love scene. I'm trying to like teach a girl who knows nothing about computers, start to finish, timeline of where computers have come from and the numbers that you're now informing the viewer, so you have to be correct on the facts.
First computer multi-user game was invented in 1979.
What did you think about the reaction from the fans after that scene?
Like anything else, there's always the people who agree and don't agree, but that's what makes it great, because it gets people to talk. And as long as people are talking, we all did what we're supposed to do.
What do you think about nudity? Would you ever do nudity on camera?
Nudity?
That's my wishful thinking, isn't it?
Now you're blushing, Leslie.
Which I am blushing. Would you ever be naked on camera?
I have always said that I would absolutely do nudity if I felt it was,
Right,
you know,
integral.
Yes, yeah. Nobody has ever asked me to do it. I don't know. I mean, I tell everybody I meet, you know, I'm happy.
I'm thinking I should tell her. Before she has to hear it from someone who's trying to hurt her.
I have been able to do some of the most intimate work. I have been able to be so open and so vulnerable on that set and do, you know, some of the most personal work that I have done in my entire career because it's so safe.
And I will never stop missing you.
But I'm having such a lovely conversation. I do hate to leave you all.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
It was so much
you'll
fun.
find something to talk about.
We'll talk about how much we love you.
Just every so often, one of you has to say something sexual or about porn.
Porn and Josh. Porn and Josh.
That's right. That's right.
But thank you so much. This was lovely.
Thank you. I want to thank Rob, Lindsay, Eden, and Jill for stopping by and helping me toast Pine Valley. It was a lot of fun. For exclusive highlights of the season finale or for a complete roundup of season 1, log on to the More Facebook page. That's also where you'll get the latest news on new episodes. While all my children gears up for an exciting second season, the More Show is going to take a little break too. But don't worry, we'll still be keeping tabs on all things Pine Valley, so you won't miss a thing. Until then, we'll see ya.